The whole reason we're in business is to help other people. I guess I'm the last speaker. I'm not sure I have a lot to share, but we've heard about it some today. I think it was Chris Boggs that said, everything you say yes to, you're unintentionally saying no to something else. And Chris Moore, he alluded to the fact that business cost him his marriage. It's no secret I've blown up a couple marriages. I have a good friend. I say he's the guy I talk to help me keep my head on straight. His practice is couples at Crossroads. Dr. Jake Thiessen, he's the therapist I talk to. He wanted to be here today. He recently got a lung cancer diagnosis. He's dealing with that. Dr. Thiessen has taught me a lot of things, and one of the things he taught me that has always stuck with me, you don't waste your suffering. You allow it to give you compassion for other people. Everybody in this room has been through hard times. It doesn't matter who you are, what your career is, what your life circumstances are. We all go through hard times. Jesus promised us, in this life you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. I wouldn't wish divorce or depression on my worst enemy. I've been through both. And a lot of you in this room showed up for me, came to my house, called me, checked on me, said, what can I do to help? If you leave here today with 2 or 3 things that stick with you, you convince yourself that you go to work and you work hard and you work long hours and that you're doing it for your family. Your family just wants you to come home. How you find work-life balance when you're an entrepreneur? If you figure it out, I'd like you to tell me, because I don't know. You got to pay your dues when you're starting your career. If you have a mindset that it's going to be easy, you are going to find out vastly different. But what I will tell you is it's going to be worth the journey. You're going to meet a lot of great people along the way. And that, to me, is the reward for self-employment. I think the only people here that don't want to go back to the farm is Alex and this gentleman here. Well, let me tell you, you need to go buy a farm. And if you don't know where to do that, go see Ed Pepper. He could probably hook you up. Because there's a certain peace. Hannah and Steve Gordon, and I'm sure most of my neighbors joke about how much hay I waste. Because you know what? I go and I feed cattle, and they're happy. I take care of my cows. I mean, the world can be on fire, but I go out there and I take care of my animals. I can get everything squared away. They're good. And that is my peace. I always say some guys smoke, some guys drink, some guys own cattle. I own cattle. You've got to find something that you love, that you enjoy, that feeds your soul, and do it. Because it's rough out there, folks. And if you haven't experienced that yet, unfortunately, you will eventually. It's making a living seems like it's getting harder and harder and harder every year in this country. Jay said it. Chris Moore touched on it. Lots of people touched on it. Persevere. You don't quit. You don't give up. I mean, when I blew up my second marriage, I went through some dark, dark times of depression. And finally, I came to a point where I said, this has got to end. My kids need me. And there's a lot of other women out there. And I kind of reorganized and restructured my whole business. Being in business, self-employed, will beat you up. I mean, we were doing almost $500,000 a year in landscaping. If you have employees and you have debts, and I don't have to explain it to you, you get it. And it's like, it's a lot of stress and it's a lot of headache and it's a lot of juggling and it's a lot of like, I must have rocks in my head because there's got to be an easier way to make a living. So I restructured, I reorganized, I got rid of all my employees. I started selling trucks and trailers. Hannah's the last man standing. She was the only employee I liked. I've achieved a six-figure income on an associate's degree, but it didn't make me happy. I remember one year I was taking my wife and kids on vacation. Somebody said, "Are you taking the kids?" I said, "Are you kidding? They're the only people I don't hate." So that's why I thought it was important to have Steve speak today, because there was a lot of times in my career that I wanted to pivot or change or shift. But I told myself, you got $250,000 in trucks and trailers, you got a clientele, you got employees that depend on you. You can't quit. You have to keep doing what you're doing. That's a lie that you tell yourself. You can reinvent yourself. You can pivot. You can change directions. You can find another career path. A common theme I've heard today, there's a lot of people in this room that love agriculture. I tell my kids all the time, you're capable, you're competent, you're intelligent, figure it out. If there's something you're passionate about, you can figure out how to make a living doing it. It's not going to be easy, but you can figure out how to make a living doing it. And another theme that we've heard today is don't chase the money, chase the opportunity to help other people, because that's the satisfaction in life, is helping other people. Unfortunately, there's going to be people who step on your dream. There's going to be people say, you can never succeed at that. You can't make that. I remember I was going to go to school to be a landscaper. People scoffed. They're like, you're going to be a landscaper in Canton? Good luck. I mean, I had a high school guidance counselor tell me I was wasting my intelligence being a landscaper. Well, when you're young in your career, you're arrogant. I'm like, dude, I make more money than you do. Then was I wasting my intelligence now? The point is, the only person that has to believe in your dream is you, and then you assemble your team. You find the experts at what, like you find your people. You build your circle. We're made for community. Don't go it alone. It's rough out there. You find people you can vent to, find people you can talk to, find people you can have lunch with. Find your people. Don't go it alone. Don't give up. Maybe the first time you try something, it didn't turn out exactly the way you envisioned. Okay. So you learn from that, you pivot, and you keep going. Thank you.